electrolytic cell is used. Students, let me show you the exact figure. You can see this is the electrolytic cell. Please refer to your book or PDF. I have provided, the figure is there. This is actually electrolytic cell. This is a rectangular iron tank with sloping bottom. You can see this is sloping bottom. This is sloping bottom. Now this is the sloping bottom. It helps in removal of molten aluminum. Now the tank is lined, that is covered, you can see black, with gas carbon. This is lining. The black color is actually lining. What is the electrolyte used? Electrolyte was 20% alumina, 60% cryolite and 20% fluorspar. Now the three elements, three electrolytes used here all contain aluminum. Powdered coke is sprinkled over the surface of electrolyte time to time, and electrolyte is kept at a temperature of 950 degrees C by electrical heating. Students recall, in earlier process the temperature required was above 2000 degrees C. 5 or 6 volt DC battery voltage is used, and low voltage was used in order to escape the evaporation of alumina. Now, after the reaction started, after the electric was passed, all three present here will donate their ions. Now, cryolite formula was Na3AlF6, so it will give Na plus, Al plus and F minus. Fluorspar was CaF2, you can see here, this is fluorspar, you can see here, this is fluorspar. Calcium fluoride is actually fluorspar. This will give Ca plus and F minus. Alumina will give Al plus and O minus. Now we have actually this plus, this plus, this plus and this plus. We have three types of positive ion, and fluorine and oxygen two types of negative ions. So we will try to compare according to the electrochemical series. We have Na plus, we have Al plus and we have Ca plus. We will see that the position of Al is lower than Na and calcium. So Al is the winner and Al will go to cathode. You can see the cathode here. Now at cathode, aluminum plus ion goes and it accepts electron and aluminum metal is formed. Again there is a comparison between fluorine minus and oxygen minus. We will see that oxygen will go to anode. You can see oxygen is going to anode and losing electron. So oxygen gas is being produced. Now this oxygen gas reacts with the sprinkle coke. You can see here, let me show you the diagram. This oxygen is formed. You can see here, please follow the cursor. If you are not following the cursor, you will miss the point. Powder coke is sprinkled over the surface again and again. This coke is nothing but carbon. So this carbon utilizes this oxygen to produce carbon dioxide. Now in this process, anode actually burns and it is replaced time to time, so that process continues. When the supply of alumina decreases, this voltage of 5 or 6 volts increases rapidly and goes to 60 volt. In this process, sometimes an electric bulb is attached here. You can see the diagram attached here. This bulb glows very faster if the current value increases. Now we will get 99.8% of alumina. Purification is further carried out by electrolysis, and the same technique is applied. We will take 99.8% pure aluminum, we will take cryolite, we will take fluorspar. Why fluorspar and cryolite is used? There are two reasons. They act as solvent, also they increase electrical conductivity. Why? Because they are providing their ions. Powdered coke is sprinkled because it reduces the heat loss and it prevents the burning of anode. If powdered coke is not sprinkled, then oxygen produced will burn the anode. So, coke is sacrificing himself to save the anode. Now, how aluminum is refined? The process is called Hoop process. Now, it uses an electrolytic cell which consists of 3 layers of a molten substance of different specific gravity. Molten impure aluminum is heavier, so it settles at bottom. The bottom layer has a carbon lining which is used as a anode. Pure molten aluminum with carbon electrode is cathode, which is top layer and very lightweight. Middle layer consists of mixtures of fluorides of sodium, barium and aluminum. You can see the figure here. Now this is the electrolytic cell. So, what is the reaction? At anode, impure aluminum will lose electron and form Al3+, and at cathode, deposition of aluminum takes place. So this Al3+ gaining 3 electron gives us pure aluminum. Now the flow chart for the whole process is given here. This process is, this chart is the same which I have discussed for you right now. Please go through it, as this will help you for your board exam. Let us see some uses of aluminum. Aluminum is a strong, light and corrosion resistant metal, so it is used for alloy making. It is very light, so it is used for making utensils, aircraft body, building and construction work. Aluminum is highly malleable, so it is used in making of thin foils for packaging. If you go to hotel and get your packing of food, chocolate or bread or tandoori roti, aluminum foil is used. Students, you also purchase aluminum foil for your decoration purpose. It is also used for painting electric and telegraph poles. Students, recall, in local area we do not see it, but in Central Capital Region, New Delhi, I have seen and we have discussed in class what was the benefit of it. In Noida and Gurgaon region, this was very common. It is also used for making furniture. Aluminum has very strong affinity for oxygen, so it is also used as a deoxidizer in manufacturing of steel. Now what is deoxidizer? Steel is protected from the attack of oxygen by use of aluminum. So aluminum is actually deoxidizer. It is also used in making flash bulb for photography. Now students, this is not used. We use electrical flashlight for our camera. It is also used to make explosive like ammonal. In later chapter, we will discuss the topic. It is also used as a reflector. You can see in your bike or in the truck or four-wheeler, behind the bulb there is a reflector, shining reflector, which is made up of aluminum painting. Aluminum is good conductor of electricity, so it is used in electric cable wire manufacturing. Aluminium is unaffected by seawater, so ships are also made from alloy of aluminium. Aluminium amalgam is also used to liberate hydrogen when treated with water, as it slows down the reaction process. Aluminium is also good reducing agent, so it is used in aluminotherapy. This is called welding. You have seen the welding. This welding is called aluminothermite welding. Aluminothermite welding is also called Goldsmith aluminothermite process. In this process, a mixture of 3 parts of ferric oxide and 1 part of aluminum powder is taken in crucible with a hole at the bottom. The crucible is placed over the broken part. You can see the broken part. Now the reaction can be started. We ignite the mixture or burn the mixture. Now when burned, iron oxide reacts with aluminium. Aluminium is more reactive, so aluminium displaces iron from iron oxide, and iron in the molten form goes here and drops from the hole. After cooling, this iron solidifies and the hole or crack is mended. You can see the reaction. Aluminium is removing iron. Now the heat is so much high, this iron melts down, and this is iron. This iron melts down and goes into the gap. This is called the welding process.
And its alloys are among the most important metals in everyday life. They resist the effects of other chemicals, are strong yet flexible, and are light in weight. Aluminium is the 3rd most common element in the Earth's crust. It is extracted from its oxide by electrolysis. About 135,000 tons of aluminium per year are extracted at Anglesey Aluminium in Holyhead. This is about half the UK total. Anglesey Aluminium has its own deep water port for importing raw materials. Aluminium can be shipped out by road, rail or sea. The site is really 3 plants in one. Electrolysis takes place in 4 covered areas, each half a kilometre in length and each containing 78 electrolysis cells. The aluminium is alloyed and cast in the metal finishing shops. Anodes for the process are produced here. Aluminium oxide, often called alumina, is stored here, fed by an underground conveyor belt from the docks. This white powder is alumina. The aluminium is extracted from it. Alumina is imported from Jamaica, Ireland and Spain, where it's been purified from bauxite ore. This is one of the 4 rows of electrolysis cells called pot lines, where the electrolysis takes place. The current to the pot lines is about 157,000 amps at 4.5 volts. Anglesey Aluminium takes electricity from the national grid. This is one of the 312 cells in the pot lines. The electrolysis cell consists of a rectangular steel shell lined with heat-resistant brick and then carbon. Each cell is filled with molten cryolite. The aluminium oxide is dissolved in molten cryolite so that it conducts electricity. 18 carbon anodes dip into the electrolyte. During the electrolysis, aluminium ions move to the cathode, gain electrons and become aluminium metal. Oxide ions move to the anode, where each ion loses 2 electrons and the atoms pair up to become oxygen molecules. These are the chemical equations. As the electrolysis proceeds, the aluminium oxide is decomposed into aluminium and oxygen. A crust forms on the electrolyte. and this has to be broken to feed in new aluminium oxide. This happens every 3 to 4 minutes. The hoppers on the cells are filled from an overhead ore bucket every 16 hours. The electrolyte is at about 955 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, the carbon anodes gradually burn away in the oxygen from the electrolysis. Eventually, the anodes have to be replaced, and this happens every 28 days or so. The remaining carbon is broken off the old anodes, crushed, mixed with new coke and pitch, and pressed into shape. The newly pressed anodes abate for about 24 hours in gas-heated pits. This produces electrodes which will conduct electricity and not crumble away in the cells. The temperature of the pit is important and is checked on a regular basis. The baked anodes are fitted onto steel stubs. These are held in place and connected electrically with cast iron. The anodes are sprayed with molten aluminium to protect the top and sides. Electrolysis takes place 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. A loss of power of more than a couple of hours would be disastrous, as the electrolyte and the aluminium would solidify. Liquid aluminium is sucked from the cell into a brick-lined steel crucible. Each cell produces about 50 kilograms of aluminium per hour. Some of the aluminium is cast as almost pure metal. Some is made into alloys by adding other metals. This metal being added is magnesium. Aluminium alloys or pure metal can be cast into different shapes. The liquid metals are poured into moulds where they solidify and can be lifted out. Aluminium metal is sold in various shapes according to the needs of the customer.
So class 10 students, this was the conclusion of class 10 chemistry metallurgy chapter. In this chapter we have seen the occurrence of metals, how they occur in compound form, in natural form. We have seen the metallurgical extraction process, dressing, concentration, reduction, electro-refining. We have seen extraction of aluminium and various processes involved in it. I will request you to please go through the video as many times as you can. It will help you for your board exams. If you have any doubts or comments, please write in the comment box below the video. I will help you. Till then, happy revising. Bye bye.